to, as we said, application variable, we can create cluster of network, not just cluster. When it comes to security, as we're discussing now, security, virtualization can be used to be able to protect. We create buffer, we create tiers. By the time you get to anything, the serious business, you have to go through maybe several tiers or several container of virtual container. Now, virtualization on a server, let me just move here. As we said, I'm going to show you now, this we're going to cover a little bit, but some of the virtualization that I recommend is in using, virtualization can use in production as well as security. For example, let's just take this for example. Here you have the, the group of, it's used in security. Let me go back a little bit. Now, if you have any serious running network, you have maybe 1 million clients coming in, okay? You understand, 1 million clients coming in. Now, some of this might be hackers, some of this might have bad intention or whatever, so what we need to do is we need to group, our client into groups, so we know our client to group 1, group 2, group 3, we group them according to the business, whatever statistic and the usage and all that, so to optimize the system. So now we have all these groups. Using virtualization, we give him a virtual PI address, a virtual IP address. A virtual IP address, we can create it now, we fold it, with 10 years from now we can use it again. So we have a virtual PI, you can use a virtual IP address, and then the production itself can be also a virtual container, a virtual server. Not only that, we can have a rollback or a backup system running in parallel for this particular production. So we have the production, we have a rollback to production or backup running simultaneously. We have a virtual IP address, and we also have what? A virtual rollback. So all this can be grouped and categorized virtually. Now, if one of these, you understand, got hit, or a virus or something got hit, we do not stop the world. Only whatever we think is hit now. This has got an issue. Let's say this one B has got an issue with a VIP address B has got an issue. So what we do, we don't, you understand, freeze the system. We just isolate that system, and we'll be able to use a backup to roll and grab this and scan it, see what does it have. So virtualization can be used to create, as I said, to group up the client, and then each client would have its own IP address, and then also this IP address will be used to track. Now, the good thing about virtual IP address, as I'm saying here, let me see. When we, as a program, there's a rule said save early and save often. Yani, what do you mean by save early and save often? Anytime you're doing a new programming or you're doing documentation, save, because you save early and you save often. What you have a permanent copy on this. In our example here, part of the security system is we change the VIP address and the server often and early. In other words, if this was hit by a hacker, you with me? So now we know this group have an issue. At that point, we can fold all of this and create another one, but we can also change this IP address, the VIP address, on a regular basis with the schedule. In other words, the client have a synchronization that is going to use a different VIP addresses. This is more of a confusing the hackers in case they are eardropping and they figure out, okay, we have this, let's attack it. Now the VIP address, and they have to start from zero again. So this is one of the things that we can use virtualization. Give him a VIP address, change the VIP address, give him a virtual production system, running away from this, give him a backup or a rollback in case that you have issue. Not only that, create redundancy. So that's virtualization at its best. In our opinion, that's what we need. This is what we think virtualization can use in cybersecurity. Now we're going to get to the next level of virtualization. I already created this part of the regenerative medicine umbrella. I created a dental, a dental platform. The dental platform is this. You have the existing system. What is the existing system? A legacy system, a filing system, database, if they have a Golden Gate Bridge, whatever. Any existing system, I can create virtually all these tiers. The first tiers, as I said, the first tiers would be a buffer, a virtual security buffer. Now, I'm creating all these tiers for the hackers, for the user, for the employee, for the mobile, and also for other platforms that want to communicate with. So in creating these virtual tiers, you with me? I can create this as many as you can. I also can create dynamically, or I can create clone, or I can create it, whatever I want. So what we did here, we created these virtual tiers. The first virtual tiers, the hacker gets in, we figure out it is a hacker, what we do, we fold it. I have an example here of what I just said. Let's say you have your laptop, you got on the bank, and you accessing your bank account, and your laptop, you have a virus. The virus have two objectives. The first objective is to copy itself on the server. The second objective is to keep the IP address for further attack. In other words, I know where you live. I know where you live. You understand? So this is the job of the hackers. It is to copy itself on the server and also keep the IP. But what did we give him? A VIP address, a virtual IP address that we're going to use it now, and maybe 3 years from now we're going to reuse it again. That's one. Two is, once this, this component, this container done, what we do, we fold it. We fold it with what? With the virus in it, and it cannot copy itself or even get to this because it needs to be able to figure out the next. Yeah, one of the job of the virus is to copy itself on any media or any place it can happen. But what we have here, we have the container, you with me? Virtual container, virtual server, and we at that point, we use a virtual container and a virtual server to run your software, your bank software. And then once you're done, what happened? It folded. Also, the software know another virtual container to end up to get to the database. So we use, as I said, tiers of virtual containers to keep hackers away from the hacking. Now we look to the next is what we do virtually for updates. How can we keep you have application coming, updates. How can we use reverse engineering and virtualizing to protect the system? Very simple. Here is the update, here is the new software coming. What we do, we create a virtual server for them. That virtual server would have it, and then this virtual server is what is tested. Scan it, whatever we need to scan it. Once we scan it, we figure out that it is okay, we copy it to the existing system, or we reject it and we report it. So this is using virtualization still to do what? Excuse me. To do what? To be able to, any updates, any updates coming, any new software coming, we use reverse engineering, and there's plenty of tools for reverse engineering now that can do a great job of figuring out what's going on with the updates or the software that's coming in. There's plenty. I've did research, and there's a lot of great work I've seen. So what we do, we use these tools. You come in, we give you a virtual server. Then we test it. If it's okay, great. If it's not okay, with it. So here we scan it, we test it, and then it passes. So this is how we use virtualization. Let me go on the top here, Control Home. Control Home. Okay, so you want to cap again. As I said, there is hardware, there is virtual container or virtual machine. We use this virtual machine to be able to create virtual server, and that virtual server can be used as redundancy, as a buffer for security, as well as the services, as well as give us, physical, horizontal expansion, as well as vertical expansion. I cannot emphasize how powerful and how great virtuality is, and how can we actually use it to protect ourselves, and how can we be able to group our client into clusters of client or group of client, where we monitoring. We look at them, each one individually, and we know if we have issue. It's not the world have issue, only one or two have issue, and we can handle it in our remedy and our prevention. I'm done here.